Sure. Just a really exciting ball game. It was tight all throughout. I got a ton of respect for that ball club, and Coach Holliday has a heck of a team. So we knew we were going to be in for a dogfight. Their freshman was outstanding. I mean, he settled in. Stanley settled in. After the third inning, I thought he did a really good job of keeping us off balance. We didn't make too many adjustments in those middle innings with our bats. But again, did enough to win. Those 3 sack flies early were big, took advantage of a mistake early. And I thought Thad Phillips's play in the top of the third on the pass ball, the strikeout pass ball, really heady play, baseball savvy play, where he knew he didn't have an out at first base, but he took advantage of the runner coming over to third and did a full arm fake and got him to bite just enough, and then made a play. He's a really good athlete. He's got very good instincts. I would have loved for him to just catch the ball and not complicate it, but he made a negative into a positive in that instance, and we needed that. We needed that. We needed to hold it to 3-2 right there, and our pitchers did an excellent job. I was very proud of Jeffrey's taking the ball and finding a way, Kirsten, just to get us a little bit, and then we were going to hand it over to our 3-headed monster. Just had to do it a little earlier than we normally do it, but that's how we've been winning games all year. What you saw in the second game today is kind of the formula that we've had going all year. That's how we've been doing it. We haven't had our starting pitching has not been a strength. It's traditionally a strength. Our relief pitching has been a godsend. And the guy to my far right here is, I don't think there's a better reliever in the country. And the guy to my immediate right, I don't think there's a better shortstop in the country. I think he's the best.
Coach, you talked about the third there. How important was it to get the kind of performance you did out of Caleb there coming in and to hold it to 2 when it looks like it has a chance to be a really big offensive inning for them?
He's got such courage and such guts. I mean, he was ready to go very quickly. We sent him down there. That inning looked like it was going to get away from Jeffrey, and sometimes that happens quickly with him on the mound, and they were getting to him. They were making some solid contact, and it was just time. So he ran down to the pen. It was really important that he could eat some innings, and I thought he did a fantastic job. He's got really good stuff, but he's got guts. He's got guts. He's got a lot of courage, and he's had to fight for everything. He's a guy who came to us as a recruited walk-on. He was probably the last guy on the roster last year. We didn't know if he'd be with us at the end of our fall, and then he dropped down. He found some magic in the preseason, and his stuff's been electric ever since. And he's going to be a scholarship guy for us moving forward for sure. But he's a special competitor and a really good athlete. You saw it on the bunt play that Phillips, those 2 guys are good athletes. Phillips behind the plate and Worcester on the mound. He could have caught it if Phillips didn't. So got a lot of confidence in him, and he's really earned everything that he's got, and he's a nice story.
Anthony, Jake gets you guys out of the 7th. You get a chance. What did you see on that pitch?
Well, I told Connor and Paul when I was going up, I said I'm going to try and hit one out today. So Keogh had a good at-bat in front of me, so I said I figured this is a good time. So I got a 2-0 pitch I could drive, and I did it.
Jacob, that's an aggressive swinging team. How are you able to kind of take advantage of that? What's the mindset going into a team that's swinging for the fences like they are?
No, I mean, I haven't pitched since last Saturday, so I was excited to get back out there. But I know that, every team is the same. You got to approach them with the same mindset and just attack. And if I execute my pitches, then everything's going to work out all right.
Coach, do you know who's starting tomorrow, and how do you kind of navigate the pitching situation this late into the regional?
Yeah, I said earlier we didn't know who was starting the second game before the first game, and I think somebody from Oklahoma State asked, and I just responded. I said Noah Klewe, Klewe. We got to get through it. But now I think Kenny House is a candidate to start tomorrow. I got to check with him, make sure that he could. He pitched yesterday and today, so I got to make sure that he's okay to do that. Jeffrey Kirsten could maybe give us a little bit tomorrow, but you're going to see a cast of several tomorrow.
An update on Topa?
His body, yes, he's okay. He's okay. He needed an IV, and he has predisposition for dehydration, and his body was cramping. I mean, from head to toe. I mean, he was in rough shape. The doctor, by the way, the medical staff with Oklahoma State did an unbelievable job. Our trainers were our trainers were extremely thankful, and first class operation. They took great care of him because he was a little spooked, I think, too, as he should have been. His body was just shutting down on him, and they took great care of him. He's fine now, but he's going to be wiped most likely. I don't know if I doubt he'd be able to go tomorrow.
Coach, last year's regional final didn't go as well, and now two of them next to you turned back around. What can you just say about those two?
These guys are great competitors. Anthony's a guy who, from day one, I trusted as a coach on the field, and he's got tremendous savvy and swagger from Staten Island. You see it in his play, but he's very steady. He's got a slow heartbeat, but he plays the game fast. He plays the game the way it's meant to be played, and you saw that with the catch the other day. That's a fundamental play. He saw that his other fielder couldn't see it, and he came in, and his job's to keep coming and go get the ball. And I've trusted him since day one to make decisions on the base paths. He's green lighted every time he's there, and that was the first time he was there as a freshman down in Port St. Lucie, Florida. I think he stole like 19 bases the first weekend. So I knew what we had there and wanted to take advantage of it. He's a special weapon, and I do believe he's the best shortstop in the country. And the guy to my far right another guy who's worked for everything that he's gotten. Another guy, I don't think he'd be ashamed. I think he'd be proud of the fact that he came to us as a recruited walk-on, showed up at our camp, and the rest is history. He has just worked and worked and worked to get in incredible condition. He's got 3 pitches that are just electric. And, about 13, 14 months ago, he finally realized that he could be really, really good. And the last thing was his confidence to come. And now, I don't think I know there's not a better reliever in the country than Jake Wallace, and we love handing him the ball.